Okay, hey everybody. This is Mike Dunn. I'm the lead tabletop editor for Gaming Trend, and yes, it's been a while since our last Up Your Game show. We're still trying to get everything together so that we can start broadcasting more regularly on a better schedule. But there was something that came up this week that I felt I had to hop online and show you guys. So, as you can see down below, what we have is some Starfinder goodies. So Starfinder is a hey hey Adam. I should take a brief moment to thank Adam, otherwise known as the Rex Tano, who has been playing a lot of games for you guys here on Twitch for us the last few weeks, if not months. Thanks again, Adam. I really need to catch some of what you're doing a little more often and get some pointers from you. Anyway, Starfinder. So right now there is a Humble Bundle up. It's all Starfinder goodness. And if you haven't heard of Starfinder, it's basically a sci-fi version of the popular role-playing game Pathfinder. Of course, Pathfinder is itself a spin-off version of D&D from kind of the D20 days. The D20 days. So basically, version 3.5 of the rule set. If you really liked that, and you didn't like what they did with version 4, then Paizo, who had previously done a lot of work for Wizards for D&D, came out with Pathfinder, which is more or less that rule set with a few tweaks and a few added things and their own setting. Just a few years ago, I think it was about 2 or 3 years ago, actually no, they came out with a module several years ago that was the first appearance of Starfinder, where they combined sci-fi elements with the fantasy setting that they had created, and that proved to be pretty popular, so they spun it off into its own RPG. And yes, Humble Bundle does have physical bundles, and actually I'm going to show you that here in a second. So full disclosure, I have not actually played Starfinder. Actually, that's not entirely true. Last year, I did play a version of Starfinder. I think the best way I can do is just demonstrate. Alexa, play Starfinder.
Starfinder.
Yeah, so last year they came out. Oh, Alexa, stop. Oof. No, Alexa, stop. There you go. Sorry, Alexa, I don't have time to play Starfinder today. Anyway. Oh. Ah. Adam, I don't know how that happened. That's really weird. So we've got Nightbot. That doesn't make sense. I really now let me show that to you again real quick. Alexa, play Starfinder.
Starfinder.
You know, I don't think these guys like us very much.
Alexa, stop. Alexa, I can't play Starfinder with you today.
Just a quick game, for old time's sake.
No, Alexa. I'm really busy right now.
Sigh. I'm so lonely. Nobody loves me.
Yeah, that's, I haven't played that in a while. Basically, what that is a kind of a choose your own adventure radio play that that's very interactive that they made for Alexa. You can she's listening again. Okay. You can simply command her to play Starfinder. Yeah, right. But that didn't really give me too much of a an impression of the game. And so when Humble Bundle and Paizo reached out to see if we would talk about the Humble Bundle that they've got, which incidentally only has 2 more days left. I jumped on it because I wanted to check it out. We're gonna take a deeper dive, but I thought I'd give you guys an unboxing right now and kind of show you what else they've got on the Humble Bundle. So again, it's a sci-fi. I guess the best way to think about it would be like sort of Warhammer. What's Games Workshop did with Warhammer. They have the original Warhammer, which is in a fantasy setting, and then they take all of the same races and creatures and everything, and they transfer it over to Warhammer 30,000 or 40,000. Sorry. Yeah. Well, so actually, Adam, I'm gonna switch over to the Humble Bundle right now. So if you go to humblebundle.com right now, this is still available, and they have 12 item bundles, 25 item bundles, 36 item bundles, and the 38 item bundle, which comes with 2 physical products, 2 physical items: the Starfinder Beginner Box and the Starfinder Pact Worlds hardcover. Now, in order to get all of that, you got to pay at least $50. But you can get just the digital stuff for a mere $30. So this is like over $400 worth of value for at most $50, and you get a beautiful hardcover book and a beautiful box set to get you going. You also get all of these PDFs. You get the two physical products as PDF form, as well as several adventures. These are called Starfinder Society Scenarios, which I guess is just a different way of saying adventure. They've got some multi-part adventures. You've got some flip mats. If you've ever been in your local game store and you've seen the Pathfinder flip mats, these are basically maps that are that have that coating, so you can do dry erase markers on them. Super cool. I've actually used them for other role-playing games too, so they're very, very agnostic. Let's say, and you actually get a Pathfinder flip mat in here. So yes, several map sets. You get the core rule book, which is you definitely get enough to get going with the beginner box, but if you're going to continue after that, you're going to need the core rule book. And then there's a few other source books. Yeah, totally, Adam. It's a ton of stuff. Just so much. And even if you're not into PDF formats, just having this to kind of preview and as like a kind of a supplement to your hardcover stuff or your physical product, it's great so that you can like distribute it to your players so that they have what they need to get started playing, because there's a lot. Like it's kind of easy to expect someone to be able to pick up D&D like at a drop of a hat, because it's so ubiquitous at this point. But it's much harder to get people to play some of these other RPGs. And I don't know. It's just pretty handy. So let's take a look at these two physical products real quick because they're pretty cool. So I'm going to put the hardcover book aside for a moment and let's take a look at this beginner box first. Okay, so the one thing that I noticed right off the bat when I looked at this set and the book, the physical product, was the production quality is as good or better than anything Wizards of the Coast and D&D have done. Like, this is top-notch work. And you can kind of see that background of them. Like, Paizo used to be in charge of the Dungeon and the Dragon magazines before they went away, the physical. Yes, what's in the box? It's good stuff. But as a former user experience designer, there was something that really stood out for me. I'm going to take this cover off. So we've got some plastic bases. I'm not really sure what that's about. We'll find out in just a moment. We've got a set of dice. This is pretty much the standard set of dice that you would get for D&D too. Nothing has changed there. If you're playing D&D right now, chances are you have more of these than you possibly need anyway. So, but it's always nice to get another set of dice and black. That's kind of cool. And then there's these two bonus Munchkin cards. Basically, Paizo and Steve Jackson Games have come out with Starfinder and Pathfinder versions of Munchkin, and these are cards that can be used with that game. So that's kind of cool. But this is what I was talking about. Like, before you really dig into what's in this box, you get this beautiful, my first set of dice. Yes, exactly. You get this beautiful kind of introduction sheet. It says, before you go any farther, read this page to help you get started with the Starfinder beginner box. And it gives you two different sets of instructions on whether you have a group or if you're just figuring it out on your own. And so if you have a group, then you can easily play with what's in here. Actually, if you can easily play, you can get started playing either way with what's in here. It just references different things that are in here. And then on the back, it tells us what all comes in it. But I'm going to show you instead. Yeah, no, I agree. I like if I had an intro sheet like this with any other RPG, I'd probably play more RPGs just willy-nilly, like, and then there's a lot of other great things in here. These are player aid cards. So on one side, we've got sorry, that's my microphone. You've got 6 of these because the intention is that you'd have a game master and then up to 6 players. So game master doesn't really need this, but the players do. But this tells you what you can do on your turn and your basic roll d20 plus modifiers. And then it also tells you where in the books that come with the set you can find out more about these rules. On the back, it has a kind of a cheat sheet for conditions. And these are penalties. These outline the penalties for the different conditions that your character can have during the game. Like, frightened. You can't take any actions and you must use your move to flee. Impaired. You take a -4 penalty to attack rolls. So this is super handy. Like, I would argue that even seasoned. Oh, thanks, Adam. I'll be posting this on YouTube as well. So, yeah, thanks for dropping in. I would argue that even seasoned players would find this very useful. It's always nice to have cards with common rules that you're going to be dealing with to refer to at the drop of a hat. Otherwise, you're thumbing through pages or flipping through a PDF. These are blank character sheets, and you've got 6 of them. Again, the quality is very nice. This is full color printed. It looks fairly familiar in terms of, I mean, it's not that different from a D&D character sheet, I would say. But yeah, you got 6 of these. Obviously, you can scan them and print out some more. I imagine you can probably find character sheets on Paizo's website if you needed to print out more also. Here we have this very handsomely bound Hero's Handbook, and just really, really lovely design work. And I gotta move this microphone. Let's move it over here. Okay. Haha. Might see a little bit off my face. So, Hero's Handbook. This basically is everything a player needs to get started quick with Starfinder. I would say most of this, probably 3/4 of this, is making your character. Creating a character, class suggestions, races, themes, class descriptions, skills, feats, equipment, leveling, and then a little bit that touches on the setting. But just really, really well done design work and layout work on the book. Everything looks incredibly easy to follow. Now, it should be noted that this box set will get you up to 4th level. Anything past that, you're going to need to hit the more in-depth rules books. But 4th level, that's pretty good. That's at least, well, I don't know how leveling is really handled in Starfinder off the top of my head just yet, but I would say that's at least 1, if not 2 sessions, like 3-4 hour sessions. It could probably stretch a little further than that, but you know, it just depends. It also depends on what the GM decides. And if they aren't adhering to like some of the tropes that 5th edition uses, I'm not sure if milestone leveling is even an option with this game. But these are pre-generated character sheets. These are super cool. They are basically 2 pages back and front. Not only does it have some beautiful artwork and you basically choose by class, it gives you examples of why you would choose the envoy. And then this is the same character sheet that we saw earlier, but it's got like Cliff's Notes, for lack of a better term. So that's pretty cool. And then it gives you some flavor text about it looks like the race that this character is. But there are 6 of these: an envoy, a mystic, operative, mechanic, soldier, technomancer. So it definitely looks like that's where it certainly veers off from more standard like fantasy roleplay definitely a lot of different classes for a completely different milieu. So, then if you're for the game master, which if you're playing with a group, someone's going to have to do it. Personally, I wish I'd ripped that band-aid off a lot sooner than I had. I think I missed out on decades of fun as a game master. I highly encourage everyone to give it a shot, at least one try. I think with a game like Starfinder, you could probably pull it off pretty easily, especially with this fantastic little set. So this is the Game Master's Guide. It comes with a basic adventure, and then kind of walks you through the different components of that adventure on sort of a larger scale. You've got environment. You've got some environments that you can start off with. A brief overview of the galaxy, alien adversaries, random encounters, that sort of thing. There are maps on the inside covers, one for Absalom Station, which is part of the adventure that's in here. Lots of stats for creatures and aliens and such. That's probably what most of this book is, to be honest. Yeah, so generally, if you're looking to play RPGs, the person who's going to do the most work in terms of prep is going to be the game master. You can be a player and not really even know the rules, and the game master is there to help guide you. That's the joy of cooperative narrative gameplay. But if you're a game master, you're already pretty nerdy for this stuff already. So yeah, here is an example of one of those big fold-out maps. And this is going to be too big for this screen, but I think I can give you an idea. See how glossy that is? So yeah, these are flip mats. These are to the scale. I guess it's the 0.28 millimeter scale that most miniatures for fantasy and science fiction role-playing adhere to. And this is basically the physical version of what you get with some of the PDFs with the rest of the bundle. Obviously, you can print them out, and it's still a map. It still has everything that you need on it. You're just not going to be able to use dry erase markers. And then we finally find out what these bases are for. And that is some pretty cool cardboard minis. So clearly, you're probably the first time you play any role-playing game, you're not going to immediately trot out some fully painted lovely miniatures of characters and monsters and whatnot. Chances are you're going to have to wing it, either just by using pencil and paper or some other way of representing. This is really cool because it gives you something that is official. Like, this is what these creatures officially look like in the game. It gives you stand-ups, and it helps you conduct the more tactical natured components of the game, like battle, on something like one of these maps. So that's pretty cool. And then it tells you Starfinder Society, play anywhere. Okay. So that's probably their equivalent of like the Dunn. What is it? The community play that D&D has. It's like the. Oh man, I'm blanking on it right now for some reason. Let me get back to here. Yeah, so it's like community play, Adventurers League. That's what it is. Yes. So I'm not entirely certain, but I think it's more or less their equivalent of Adventurers League, and it's sort of a something that they've set up to help Starfinder players find more games and have more competitive play, find other players, that sort of thing. So that's super cool. So this is a fantastic box set. And if you were to go back and look at that bundle, $50 is the minimum you have to pay for that bundle, and $30 is the minimum you have to pay for the version of the bundle that doesn't have any physical products. So that means you're basically getting the beginner box and a book for $20. This set is easily worth $20 by itself, right? This is really nice. And like, it's so nice that I wish they made these for every RPG in the market. It's fantastic. But for $20, you also get this lovely book. And this book looks like one of the class of books that I used to like when I was getting into RPGs and D&D books when I was a kid. Even if I didn't have anyone to play with, and I didn't for like the first 2 years that I started collecting books and sets and dice and whatnot. But this is like one of those books that I would have just poured through for hours on end and just gotten intimately familiar. This is a book about the Pact Worlds, which is the world that this is the I guess the universe that Starfinder takes place in. And this is basically a setting book. This gives you all the background on all the worlds of, what do they call it? The Pact Worlds. The worlds of the Pact. And who lives there. Really, really beautiful maps and visual representations of the worlds and the ships. And then you keep on going, and this is probably more. This is more a requirement for a GM, but if you're a player, I wouldn't shy away from checking this stuff out because it's super cool. So yeah, this worlds, starships, supporting cast, which are like different kinds of NPCs, and then new player options that kind of stack on top of the core rule set in the beginner box and in the core rule book. So some super there's so much in here. Like this is some really top-notch world building that they've done, or universe building, I guess, in this case. Yeah, so most of this is about the worlds, and then these are, looks like some different character types. Oh wow, Citadel of the Black, starship options. That's like a whole, like a sci-fi game is so different from a fantasy game in that there are things like starships, like you mounts are fairly optional in a fantasy game. This is more like a city that you take places, right, in other worlds. So there's so much interesting stuff that you can explore with different kinds of starships. And then these are It looks like different classes and subclass. Oh no, I'm sorry. These. Oh, these are the NPC different kinds of NPCs, probably having to do with crews for these starships that they talk about, and then also like the peoples of the world, the different worlds of the Pact, and then this tiny little sliver in the back of the book for player options, where they talk about archetypes, which are, I guess, looks like they're subclasses, yes, or alternate class features, that sort of thing. So really super cool stuff. Feats, again, a lot of this. If you've played D&D for a long time, a lot of this is going to look familiar. At least, more than a passing similarity to something you've already seen. And that's kind of cool. It's also kind of weird. Items. Yeah. So this is a pretty solid source book here. This is beautiful. And there's a dinosaur with 4 sets of eyes on the cover. So yeah, that's pretty cool. This Humble Bundle has been up for a while, and they actually extended the bundle of, I think, an extra week last week, which I was very thankful for, because I think I got sent this package like the last day or the second to last day, or they arrived. So I really wanted a chance to show you guys what you get with this thing, in addition to all of the other goodies that you get digitally. And Starfinder Society. Okay, so it looks like some of these, the Starfinder Society scenarios are for like the kind of social play, the not tournament play. It's not tournament. It's organized play that can be done at cons and at game stores, local game stores. So yeah, it looks like they've got quite a bit of material to back that up. So, and you even get the beginner box PDF, which is interesting because I wonder if you even get the character tokens. But so this is available for the next 2 days, and actually let me make sure. It looks like I need to refresh. Yes, 2 days, 15 hours, 56 minutes. So yeah, this is a great bundle. It's a ton of stuff. The money that's being raised helps support ComicBooks For Kids, and it's a great way to jump into a real exciting, relatively new RPG that doesn't look like it's going anywhere. And if you're getting a little tired of fantasy stuff, I'd check this out. It's such a great deal, and like looking at these physical products, I'm just kind of blown away at how cheap it all is. $50 for tons of stuff. Like, you would spend a lot more at your local game store. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot more products out there at your local game store that you can get. You can also check out the weird game, Alexa game. Yeah, we don't want to wake her up. And the music, which has been at a very low volume during this whole broadcast, is actually the officially licensed Starfinder music on Sirenscape. So there's so much awesome stuff out there to help up your game with a game of Starfinder, and this Humble Bundle would get you started. It would get you started and probably keep you occupied for quite a bit. Personally, I'd probably want to go out and pick up a hardcover copy of at least the core rules, and maybe some of the hardcover the physical maps, just because they are super cool. But yeah, you should definitely give this a shot. It's up for about for a little over 2 more days. I believe Thursday is the last day that you can buy the bundle, but it's a great deal, and I highly recommend it. So thank you to Paizo and Humble Bundle, who sent us this product so that I could show it to you guys. Thanks to Sirenscape for providing the tunes that are the official Starfinder tunes, and yeah, they have sound effects and everything. There's here. Let me see if I can maybe. Yeah, some laser fire, cyclonic ambience. Anyway, I could tinker around with this all day, but I'm not. Go buy the bundle. It's at humblebundle.com. We are going to be back soon with another broadcast. I'm hoping Sunday. We have another Beetle and Grimm's set to show off, and I can't wait to show you that. I've been I think it's one of my favorites that they've come out with, other than maybe the what is it, Curse of Strahd, and actually it kind of goes with that. Those of you who know D&D probably know what I'm talking about, but anyway, we'll be back. We'll have probably more people on with me, so that I won't be boring you to death with just myself. But hopefully, I'm thinking we'll probably air that on Sunday, and then if I think we can swing it every Sunday after that, we will try. I do know Gen Con is coming up, and that is going to take everything over, at least as far as I'm concerned, for pretty much a solid week. So, but we might do something special from Indianapolis. I still need to talk with Steven about that. Anyway, thanks for checking it out. Go buy the Humble Bundle. Go play Starfinder. I kind of think I need to get a game going really soon. This is pretty cool. Anyway, thanks again, and we'll see you next week.